A house isn't just shelter. It's not just a place where we live. It's so much more than that. A home is really about a place that facilitates our lives and all of the things that we want to do. And that's exactly the case with this next inspiring tiny house and the wonderful couple who live within it. Hi Sarah, how are you?
Hey Bryce, nice to see you.
It's lovely to see you. G'day Jason, how are you, mate?
Bryce? How you doing?
Very, very well, and I am so excited to see your home here.
Thank you. We're excited to show you.
So first of all, can you tell me a little bit about how you came to be living in a tiny house?
Yeah, so I guess we wanted to get out of the rent trap, and we really liked the concept of the tiny house lifestyle, living a relatively small footprint lifestyle, a relatively low cost lifestyle as well, one that has a little bit of flexibility around where we live. So that was really, I guess, the main draws for us, but probably the single biggest draw was the financial draw. That's really the key.
And what was it that really made you fall in love with the idea of living in a tiny house?
So I fell in love with small living spaces from studying interior design from AUT, and one of the briefs was to design something small and compact. From then on, I watched videos on Hong Kong small apartments and also Japanese small homes. My dad lived in one, so I kind of resonated with that, and that's how I fell in love with it.
And so can you talk to me a little bit about the design of the home?
We kind of had a reasonably good idea of what we wanted. We knew we wanted a dual mezzanine tiny house, and this one was actually for sale by the original builder. The original builder was moving into a full-size house for his family, and he had only lived in this for about 6 months while he was building his full-size house. And then at the end of that, he decided to sell it, and we just fell in love with this one. It kind of ticked, 9 out of 10 boxes of all the things that we wanted in a tiny house. Small footprint, modern, well insulated, double glazed, 2.5 wide, 7.3 long at the base, and then the trapezoidal top is 8 meters long at the top, and then 4.2 high. So we're sort of right within those maximums of a standard trailer, and it was within our price range too, so we got pretty fortunate.
And then I see you've got the solar panels there, so this home's obviously off the grid as well?
It is off the grid. We've got 1,200 watts of solar, so we've got 4 times 300 watt polycrystalline panels, and we've got water into the house, which is coming from a tank, so it's tank water in. We've got a composting toilet. We compost all of our food waste as well. We're as off the grid as we can get reasonably.
And the parking space that you found for your home here as well, fantastic views.
Yeah, we feel pretty fortunate actually. We were told, and it turned out to be true, that finding a place to park would be the hardest part, or one of the hardest parts of the tiny house journey, and it proved to be true in our case as well. We checked out all the Facebook groups, a lot of land share websites, and we sort of checked out everything. But ultimately what did it for us was mailbox drops. We just made up a flyer, and we printed hundreds and hundreds of them off, and after about 200 letterbox drops, the landowner contacted us and said, we'd love to have you on the land, and it's only about a 20-minute drive to Auckland City from here, which is amazing, frankly, and we're still in West Auckland, which we love, and based on your channel, it looks like a lot of tiny housers in Auckland are actually in West Auckland. It seems like a tiny house metropolis.
This is the hot spot, there's no question about that. And then it looks like you're creating a wonderful outdoor living space for yourselves out here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was definitely something we had talked about even before we moved in. We wanted to sort of extend that living space a little bit, I guess, like a lot of tiny house owners do, and just have a place where we can sit and really just enjoy the environment, because it is a great view from up here.
Yeah, sit back and enjoy all these wonderful views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the home looks absolutely wonderful from the exterior. There's a lot of really interesting and unique design here, and I cannot wait to see what you've done inside. Shall we take a look?
Absolutely, we can't wait to show you.
All right, after you. Oh, this looks absolutely brilliant. You can see this home really does have all of those wonderful, very modern finishes, doesn't it?
Yeah, we felt pretty fortunate when we found this, because we had a fair list of things on our want or wish list, and this ticked most of those boxes. It's modern. Sarah had her own desires around styling and design and look and feel and color scheme and things like that.
Yeah, color scheme wise, it was amazing. And also the centerpiece would be the barn door. So that was definitely on our list. So we were very happy with that. It's like a sliding barn door. So we don't see this often in a tiny house either.
And Sarah, as an interior designer, you must have had so much fun having your very own space to play with.
Oh my gosh, it was a dream come true. And also like the styling bit, Jason left it all to me, and I was so happy with that, and I had so much fun just styling everything in my spare time.
And so immediately upon entering the home, we are here in your kitchen, and this looks wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about how everything here is laid out?
That was one of the attractions, I guess, to this particular tiny when we looked at it, was we do enjoy entertaining, we do enjoy cooking, we do a fair bit of it, and we do love having people around and having a space where we can have a little bit of indoor-outdoor flow, where the front door leads directly out of the kitchen, we can lead onto our deck, but also have enough space in there. It's not a huge amount of space, but I guess for us, it's got a reasonably large bench top. It's got a really big black sink. So all the fixtures and fittings are pretty modern, because it was a brand new build, not that long ago. So at the end of the day, everything's modern, it's current. Soft closed drawers and a nearly full-size fridge, and a reasonable amount of storage as well, for all of our cookware and crockery and dishes and everything else. So even with a mini oven and a toaster and a water filter and a few other things, we've still got a decent amount of bench space, which was actually a pretty big priority for us. About the only thing that we missed, to be honest with you, is a dishwasher. So we'll rejig that corner probably a little bit to squeeze a dish drawer in it at some stage, because that's probably the only thing that we really miss.
And I'm the only one that washes the dishes.
Yeah.
But he does the barbecue.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Is that normal for a lot of couples? I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is. And then over here we have your lounge, and you can really see that this is a space which has been prioritized around entertaining.
Yeah, we definitely felt that was a priority for us to have a bit of space, because you live so much of your life in your lounge area. We didn't want to be in a position where in our tiny house we felt like we had to live in the bedrooms or in the mezzanines to feel like we had a comfortable space to spend time. There's quite a bit of storage down here as well. So this is one of the wheel wells, and what they did is they basically built the storage around the wheel well with the squab on top, and it does provide quite a bit of extra space that would otherwise kind of go to waste, or you'd have to cover it in some way so you didn't just look like a wheel well. So yeah, they've done a pretty good job, and then they've covered the other wheel well with the couch. So we feel like it's got a lot of usable space for us.
And here in the lounge, you can really see that the dual staircases going up to the dual mezzanines act as quite a feature, don't they?
Yeah, they do. We've seen quite a few variations on the theme of stairs. We found that some of the stairways, if they come right down, they can encroach quite heavily into the lounge area at times. And sometimes that's by design to have a whole lot of extra drawers. But for us, we're actually quite happy to only have the 2 drawers in the very, very bottom of the stairwell. And then to have, it's almost like a spiral staircase actually. So you turn pretty rapidly up around the corner into the mezzanine floors.
Very good. And I'm guessing that's the bathroom there behind the barn door.
It absolutely is.
Can we take a look in there?
We certainly can.
Alrighty, after you. Oh, this is really nicely done.
Yeah, we feel like it's made a pretty good use of what is admittedly a reasonably small space. We've got our composting toilet over there in the corner. We've got a full 900 by 900 shower. And then the vanity area has actually made a reasonably clever use of the space, in the sense that the baseboards for each step of the stairs actually protrude into the bathroom. The back side of the stairs effectively protrude in, and around the corner there you'll be able to see vanity shelving there effectively.
And just the design in here as well, the combination between the white walls and then the timber elements and then the black feature touches are just really nice.
Yeah, we feel like it sets it off. It makes it look reasonably modern. All the tapware is basically modern black, and it's all got soft fittings. It's easy to clean, easy to maintain.
And then what do we have in the mezzanine above us here?
So this is the guest mezzanine that's over the bathroom.
Can we take a look?
Absolutely. Lead the way, Sarah.
The stairs here, they're very compact, but also really comfortable to use, aren't they?
Yeah, we definitely like the drop floor. I'm 5'10", and I do have to bend over a little bit in this one, but I have to bend over even less in the master bedroom.
I'm 5'2", so I just walk in and like normal, because I'm short.
There are definitely benefits to that, aren't there? This room is really cozy, isn't it? It's quite a comfortable space to be in.
It is. We treat it kind of as a bit of a zen space where we can chill out, get a bit of our own space when we need a bit of a break, relax, read a book, be on the laptop, whatever the case may be. And then it also serves as a spare bedroom, which we'll just put an inflatable mattress in whenever anybody visits and stays with us. So it's a bit of a dual purpose room for us. It's basically a spare bedroom.
And then I see we've got some beauty pageant sashes over here. I'm guessing these are yours, Jason?
Absolutely. Well, can't you tell?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a beauty queen. Yeah, I did Miss Universe, I did Miss Asia Pacific, and the first actually New Zealander to represent at Miss Scuba International. For that pageant, it's the most hardest pageant out there, I reckon, because you have to be a certified scuba diver.
So you're actually a certified scuba diver then?
And same as Jason.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've been a diver for a long time, but Sarah went ahead and got certified so that she could participate in that particular pageant, and then she went diving in Malaysia while she was participating in the pageant.
And we got to go diving together in Bali.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What an amazing hobby to share.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely we like our hobbies. I guess we don't have kids, so we're big kids. So we definitely we like being on the motorbike and the jet ski and lots of other things that we enjoy doing together as I guess a bit of outdoor activities.
That's living big in a tiny house for you right there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I love it. And so your bedroom is in the other sleeping loft.
Absolutely.
Cool. Can we take a look?
Definitely. Lead the way.
All right. Thank you. Oh, this is such a special little place, isn't it? What a cozy feeling in here.
Yeah, we really liked it when we first came up here. And as I said, I'm 5'10" and I'm only just touching the roof. So the floor around the whole bed, basically it's up on a shelf effectively is where the mattress is on. In terms of storage, this bedroom probably doesn't make quite as much use of space from a storage perspective. Getting around the bed, accessing the bed is much better, but what we've dealt with in terms of storage is underneath the headboard there's baskets for extra storage and for clothing. So, there's always trade-offs in a tiny house. You get some things, but you give up other things. And for us, this was a good compromise of getting and giving.
And so how long have you been living in the home now?
4 months now.
And how are you adapting to tiny house life?
Actually smoothly, more smoothly than we thought.
Yeah, definitely. We've added a couple of things like the work from home desk over there that can slide up to me when I'm sitting on the couch, and it's got a place for my laptop, and making sure that we've got, I guess, everything configured in the way that we want. And the longer you live in a place, the more adjustments you can make over time, and that's the beauty of actually owning it. You can actually make fairly significant adjustments, and it's not like you're in a rental that you have to worry about making changes that maybe the landlord doesn't agree with. So for us, it's been a good move.
Absolutely. And so now can we talk a little bit about budget and what it costs to realize this house?
Yeah, look, we knew from your show, as well as talking to various tiny house builders, that the budget for what we wanted was going to be somewhere between that 100 and 130K mark. So if it's kind of the minimum with 2 mezzanines was between 100 and 130K. We were quite lucky in that was the asking price around that 100K mark for this one. We were able to negotiate with the vendor and get a little bit better deal than that. But you don't get much change out of 100 grand these days for a good quality modern tiny house that's fully insulated with double glazing. You just don't.
And so what are your future plans for life and the tiny house?
I'm going to have my 30th birthday on the deck, have a high tea party.
Lovely. What a good plan.
We haven't had a proper tiny housewarming yet, so we kind of want to show our friends, because a lot of people have said, you sure you guys are going to be okay in a tiny house? And we want to show them we're not just okay, we're actually thriving, and we actually love the lifestyle, and it gives us both freedom of time, because it's easier to maintain and clean and look after a tiny house. There's not as much floor space, but it also gives us more money because it's a cheaper lifestyle than what we had before, and we can spend that on activities that we actually enjoy doing together. So it's activities over things is the lifestyle that we wanted to build, and that's what we've made a good start on.
And closer to nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tiny house living has taught me that I don't need that many things in life materialistically, and also just the feeling I have of this place, I feel like it's a really great accomplishment, because this is the biggest goal you can achieve, like a milestone for a lot of people. So waking up and I see ponies or horses outside, I just feel so blessed.
Yeah, it's a bit surreal, actually. I didn't think that I would ever own my own home. My investments mainly around businesses and other types of investments, not property. To be honest with you, property never excited me. It never did anything for me. And especially at the prices of property in Auckland, it did even less for me. And I just assumed I'd never really be able to afford to own my own home. So I guess the sense of pride and accomplishment in having a place of our own, that feeling inside, I didn't expect that. So to be able to drive up the driveway and look at this place and say, that's ours, that's our place, that's our home, that's our roof over our head.
It's our nest.
It's our nest. That was something that never, even a couple of years ago, just meant nothing to me. But it's definitely awakened something inside me that feels really pretty special.
Well, you really have created such a beautiful home for yourselves here and an even bigger lifestyle. Thank you both so much for sharing it with me.
Thank you so much, Bryce.
Thanks, Bryce. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Sarah and Jason have created such a beautiful home for themselves here. They really are a couple that are focused on life experiences and living outside of their home as well as in it. And this is a space that really does perfectly facilitate that.